So I don't want to waste a whole lot of time tonight. It's really late talking about things that aren't important. So I'll make this very brief as I can. Y'all know how I go on sometimes. I know it's been a while and it's good to hear from you guys. But I hope you've been taking note to all of the developments that have been transpiring through the days and weeks since we've last spoken. And I hope you understand why all of these things are happening. Now, today I was talking to someone about negativity, and I saw a few things online pertaining to the same thing. And people have this sense of when you talk about the end that you're being negative. And I've had quite a few of those conversations over the last couple of weeks in different situations. But you know, somehow people perceive you as a doom and gloom person when you're talking about the end. The end is about doom and gloom, right? It's not about necessarily being negative, but the end is going to bring negative. You right? You get what I'm saying? So a lot of you out there, you want to be honky dory and duty, and you want to go about your days with your head stuck in the sand, and you're not paying attention to all of the things, right, that are right in front of your face. And these are physical things, right? These are anomalous things, like I've always said. These are things that you know that there's something wrong. You even hear that the people that you give credibility to, these weather forecasters or these so-called scientists, you give them a lot of credibility for a whole lot of stuff, right? And you listen to what they're saying, and they're telling you that this is anomalous, right? Right? So you're sitting in, it's fucking May, and there's snowstorms going on in places that never get snowstorms in May. You get what I'm saying? Stuff like that, right? So in conversations, I perceive that some people believe that, that they know what's right, and, that this shouldn't happen, right? None of the things that have occurred should happen because they're negative things. Even though you live in a world full of negativity, and that's what we're going to talk tonight. It's getting good. See, I was trying to express to this person, and several people, by the way, not just to pick on that person, but I was trying to make them understand that certain people in this world feel pain, and it's by design, right? The powers that be, the forces that govern our lands, who are quite obviously full of shit at this point, the best of you can see that. They create pain in people, right? Unnecessarily. And I always talk about that. Unnecessary roughness, narcissism, right? Demoniacs, folks. These demoniacs have captured us all, right? And we're under their rule of thumb. No matter how silly their rules are or how crazy they are, right? So you look at all of these things going on around the world, and we'll just start where I am, right? We'll just start here, right? So you take the average person, right, who's already under terrible stress because the economy is bad, things are all in the tank, right? People have money shortages and stuff. And yet the powers that be, the people who own everything, the people who give you your paychecks, they demand that you fork over everything that you owe them. And these same people have not accounted for the fact that they owe somebody, right? Because none of the stuff that they have is really theirs. And that's what we're getting today, folks. I'm trying to show you about iniquitous stuff in the world at large that you live in, right? I happened to take notice one week. I was going to this particular store, throughout the week, and I happened to take notice to all of the nice shiny new F-150 and all of these big ass Nissan brand new 2021, 2020 or something trucks. $70,000 trucks, right? And all of these people are driving around in these different vehicles and stuff, and there are various ages. But I happen to notice that they all had similar characteristics. Not gonna go into that. That's foolishness. But I'm trying to show you what covet is about. Covet is about you control everything. You control everything literally. So you make it impossible for people that are not in your covet to do anything because you restrict them, right? You suppress and oppress everything they do, right? And only the people who are in your covet, or the people you have accepted by way of, yes, selling their soul or something, in a new day, coming up in these new things and developments, you'll see them trying to chip your ass, right? And that'll be bowing down to that system, right? That caste system, that system that creates iniquitous things, that system that is unfair, right? Because see, the best of you who work every day, you're working like a slave and you're busting your fucking ass and you're trying, but somehow you just cannot get a leg up. And that's everybody's story, folks. Except for the guys driving the nice $70,000 F-150 trucks. The people, some of them are farmers and stuff, and they get all of these nice grants from the government because they're in the covet. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you go apply for a loan, you don't get that, right? You don't get those subsidies, or you get cheated greatly in those subsidies. However, you're able to look around and see that this person got that, and this person got that, and this person got that. And that's called a covet, folks. Right? It applies to your laws in various ways throughout your lands. You do something, you probably wind up in a box at the end of the night, right? In a morgue somewhere. Someone else does something much more extreme and they're allowed a slap on the hand. I was looking at that case where that guy had ran over 4 people or some shit. And then, when they caught him, he fled the country and shit. And I think his excuse for, in his case, he said something about he had something about him being so affluently rich and living in that lifestyle that he just wasn't accountable for his actions. So when you're rich like that, I guess you can run people over and kill them. And because you're rich, you're not accountable for murder, right? So this guy leaves the country. And when they catch him and bring him back, I think he got like a slap on the hand a couple of years or something. And he's probably out right now or something. I'm not sure, but y'all look into that. But my point I'm making is that he even had the fucking gall. His people, the covet that he was in, had the gall to present this before a world situation where the world was watching this and tell you that because he's rich, he shouldn't get the same punishment that your punk ass would get when you get life in prison for the same thing, or you get the death penalty or something. You see what I'm saying, folks? But you let these people tell you that this is how it should be. You let them tell you that they're elite when they're really base people, folks. Right? See, the best of people who are rulers have enough sense to look to the Most High, and I give you praise, Lord, for everything, for wisdom, for knowledge, and everything, folks. So they're not going to make some of these decisions that some of these devils make because they're removed from God. You see what I'm saying? So everything they do in your society, I'm going to tell you, let me finish up what I was saying because I'm all over the place. Because I've been seeing things and it's showing me how crazy the world we live in. I was in the store, same place, same location. And I was in line and there was a guy in front of me in line. And, you're waiting in line. And so, this guy, he was stocky build, bearded, looked like construction work or something, right? Looked like that type of guy. I'm not sure what he did, but I'm just saying he was a burly guy, bearded and everything. And when he went to the counter, the clerk said, sir, or said, how can I help you, sir, or something to that effect. And he said, sir? Do you see a sir here? Now, mind you, folks, these two strangers, this person had a full beard, very muscular build, big guy, right? But he didn't want himself to be referred to as a sir, and he was offended that some complete stranger thought he was a sir, even though he had a full beard and everything. The person talking to him didn't even have a beard. You see what I'm saying? So the person was baffled because he knew that he had gotten to some kind of PC situation and he didn't know how to react to that or to fix it or nothing. He just said, how can I help you, sir? He was just being professional. And this person said, sir? And I just want y'all to think about a world where people are so fucked up in their head that this is how it's going to be. Now remember, the powers that be, those same powers that be, they champion shit like that. However, they'll take God's name out of the schoolhouses and everywhere else, right? in society, in the land. They don't want to talk about God. They don't want to mention him or anything. But they'll make way for stuff like this. And I'm trying to show you where all of you motherfuckers buy into every day. You are the problem. That's what I'm saying, right? So in a new day, when we going back to all of this stuff that's happening, you know, this negativity, right? When one has a boot on their neck daily, consistently, constantly, they are not in a state of doody-doo and skippity-doo and all of this bullshit, folks. They're going through things, folks. They're dying on the street. Cops are killing. All kinds of shit is happening. And people are trying to just survive, right? You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, these rich people, they don't go through any of this fucking shit. They are completely removed from any of this stuff, right? And then I was just talking to people. I'm just talking to people throughout the week, and I'm listening to their problems and stuff. And we're not even necessarily talking about narcissism, but I'm trying to parry them back to that. I'm trying to push them back to that, to the narcissism, because I'm trying to make them see that all of the pain that they feel, there is a source somewhere. See, when you gaslight or you're a fucking fool and you let yourselves be gaslight by the narcissist demoniacs, you let them tell you that it's your fault that they crippled you. So they take a sledgehammer out and they fucking hobble your fucking ankles, right? You can't walk, and then they point to you and say, look at you, you're no good, you can't walk. But they hobbled you, folks, in every single fucking way. You can't get ahead. I was talking to a guy about child support. And, you know, I'm just giving you things that this society does. It's all about money for them. They could care less about you. But just think about this. If paying child support is merely you just giving in a certain substantial amount of money that will cover for the month to take care of said child, right? And it's set in place and that's set in stone and that will cover certain things. Okay, so if you meet that demand, how do they feel they can take more money from you? So here it is, you know, you could be paying, you got rich guys paying all types of these damn payments out. You got people that have a little money and they're getting fucking taken to the cleaners, right? And fair, they go ahead and go along with it. They don't try to contest it and they pay this amount, right? So then when they go out and try to increase their income, because remember at this point their lifestyle is changing. They're struggling, they're going through things. And so once they try to go out and better themselves and move up into something or try to make a little more of that currency, that bullshit money to take care of themselves, these same motherfucking people come double back and take that money. So you're back in the same position. You see what I'm saying? This applies to taxes. This applies to anything that they do to you. Just because they can. So you see when you get a storm or you get something serious that happens, the Lord is doing it simply because he can. And it's fair, isn't it? Because you do it. And I keep trying to make you guys see this bullshit that you're living in every day. I get tired of talking to people about God and his wrath and the things that are coming upon the earth, on Mama Earth. I get tired of doing this. And then I hear someone tell me that I'm being negative. Right? Even though they live in a world where when they cut the news on every day, there's some negative shit popping off every motherfucking day. As a matter of fact, a news feed, a news cycle can't even really prosper without negativity. You see what I'm saying? Because see, that's what gets your attention, right? You're entertained by this negativity. So you look at TV, you see wars breaking out everywhere, you see riots, you see all of this stuff. If you see a riot, why is somebody rioting, folks? Right? They're rioting because there's something going on with them. If you see a mass body of people doing this type of shit, they're doing this because they're upset. But why? Because there's someone hurting them, folks. There's suppression. You see what I'm saying? See, when somebody gives you a few crumbs and you go along with the shit, you're just as culpable as they are. And that's why you deserve just as much destruction as the fucking devils. I don't like the devils. Right? So when I cut the news on and I see that Billy Bob looking motherfucker on TV talking about how his brand new big ass F-150 truck got tossed from this side of his yard all the way to across the street somewhere in the neighbor's pool or something, I think about the fact that when I go in that neighborhood, whether I live out there or not, I'm getting harassed. I got people you know, and you have your people. I've seen it. You saw the guy get harassed and bullied by the big guy that came up to him and asked him why he was in his neighborhood. Y'all seen it, because I think it may have went viral or something, but everybody knows about that. And that's called a covet. So when your whole fucking neighborhood, when a storm or the great winds, Honor fan, when they come through your neighborhood and rip your beautiful manicured lawns up and rip your fucking house up and put a tree through your fucking house and toss your truck across the street and then you're homeless. Think about why that's happening, folks. See, the Lord knows everything. He knows who the devils are. He knows who you are in your heart. Some of you sit in church every Sunday and do these rituals, and you go to church and you talk about God, right? Not knowing how God looks, because you don't know him personally, folks. You don't know the angels and how do they look personally. How does this great son, how does he look in the face personally? Honor family. How does he look in his face, folks? See, you would be surprised, folks. You depend on the son for everything because he's the son, right? What does he look like, folks? What does he look like? You see what I'm trying to explain to you? See, y'all go to church and y'all sit in church and talk about loving God, but you don't love me. You don't love people who look like me, right? I am related to the ground you stand on, folks. I'm not verifying this for anybody else but myself. I'm not speaking for anybody else, but I'm saying that there are people throughout this world body in this land who have this similar lineage, folks, is what I'm saying. Whether you want to believe it or not, the best of you, some of you people are following people on social media who are saying the same fucking things, right? But see, they're caught up in doctrines and different things, and they're not realizing this is a global thing. The Lord recognizes all in the world that he has his thumb on, right? That are under his thumb. He sees all of these people. The angels are assigned, folks. You don't know the angels. You don't know the chariots. You saw them get on the news last week or something, the government people or something. You saw them get on the news and tell you that the chariots have the capability to shut down their whole shit. So that tells you that the authority who governs the chariots have more power than the people who govern you. But you're not. You don't hear me. You see what I'm saying? So at that point, why would you follow devils when the Lord is supreme? Right? The devils are pretty much telling you to your face that they can't whoop the Lord's ass. They're going to try, but a futile attempt. But they're going to try and get their asses handed to them. I look forward to that. I wait for these days, folks. The best of you are waiting for these days. Now, I got all over the place starting out, so I'm going to make a part 2 to this, probably promptly right away. I'll probably do a part 2 to this because I don't know how much time I have left on this, but I really wanted to talk about that because it's annoying to me to see people live in a world that gives pain, a world of people who give pain to other people, right? In various ways, suppress them in various ways, outright take their lives, harm them, do all of these things to them, and you go along with it because it's not affecting you because you're in the covenant, right? You got people walking around saying they feel good because they're getting chipped up and stuff. I saw all of this stuff, and I'm just appalled about what I'm looking at. But I also understand that the majority of ignorance and foolish motherfuckers will perish, right? Because they're going along with this bullshit, right? Think about the average one of you who go to work. I don't know what you do in your occupations, but you go to work every day and you're busting your ass. And aren't you still stressed? Aren't you stressed every motherfucking day for no reason? When have you got to actually live your quote unquote lives? Think about it for a minute. What is living?